Coming up on Cronkite News, Brittney Griner pleads guilty. We'll have the latest on the trial and the efforts being made to bring her home.
Plus, rush to file. Today is the last day to get propositions on the ballot for the fall. We'll tell you what you can expect to see.
And later, we'll break down what's being done to fix the formula shortage and take you to the Medal of Freedom award ceremony.
Cronkite News starts now.
Good evening and welcome to Cronkite News on Arizona PBS. I'm Lauren Green.
And I'm Nikita Chaturvedi. Thank you for joining us. Our top story tonight, Brittney Griner pled guilty to the charges against her today in Russia. But no one expects this to speed her trial along. The judge will continue to read the entire case and a record and process that could still take weeks or even months. When making the plea, Griner told the judge she didn't intend to break the law and packed the cartridges accidentally. In addition to asking the court for time to prepare her testimony, she also asked for leniency. A U.S. Embassy representative in Moscow told reporters Griner is eating well, doing well, and able to read books.
There's been an outpouring of support for Griner across the country. And here in Phoenix, there was a big rally for BG. Ruby Aurora takes us through the emotional event at Footprint Center.
Today marks 140 days since Brittney Griner's wrongful detainment in Russia, and the Phoenix Mercury held a rally to bring BG home.
I'm frustrated that 140 days have passed since my wife has been able to speak to me, to our family, and to her friends. I'm frustrated that my wife is not going to get justice.
The Mercury rally hoped to accomplish three things. First, to make their voices heard in support of Brittney Griner for the world and U.S. government to hear. Second, to get as many people as possible to sign the petition in support of BG at wearebg.org. And third, to celebrate BG as a person, the friend they love, and family member they miss.
James Baldwin said, "It comes as a great shock to discover that the country to which you have pledged allegiance, along with everyone else, has not pledged allegiance to you." I can stand here and list her accomplishments, but I don't think someone should have to be extraordinary or exemplary for their country to protect them.
Support this president and the administration to do what it takes, and so I don't want to put parameters on that. I just want the president to know that he's got the bipartisan support of the United States Congress.
Now it's just a waiting game to see how long it takes to bring BG home. At the Footprint Center, Ruby Aurora, Cronkite News.
Governor Doug Ducey's pen got quite the workout yesterday. The governor signed 47 bills into law and vetoed only 3, including a measure to extend a transportation sales tax for Maricopa County. He said the bill was ill-timed because of inflation and high gas prices. The last bill on his desk was the school voucher bill, which he did sign this afternoon. The legislative session ended 2 weeks ago.
Because of one of those bills, people will no longer be able to take close-up videos of the police, starting in September. The law that was sponsored by Republican Representative John Kavanaugh makes it illegal for anyone within 8 feet of the police to record. There are exceptions to who can film. People at the center of interactions with law enforcement, as well as people in a vehicle stopped by police, as long as they aren't interfering.
Today is the last day to submit signatures to the Secretary of State in order to get voter initiatives on the ballot. Julio Mora Rodriguez was at the Capitol as 2 organizations submitted their papers.
Citizens in favor of the Predatory Debt Collection Protection Act say they are confident their initiative will make the ballot. Supporters of the measure say it would protect Arizonans from excessive medical debt.
That each one of us is only one major illness away from medical debt. Chronic disease or sudden medical emergencies can cost families tens of thousands of dollars, even with insurance.
Healthcare Rising Arizona, a group dedicated to relieving medical debt, say they collected a record number of signatures, over 500,000, with the help of volunteers like Jessica Baez-Staggers.
Because everyone knows someone who's struggled with this kind of thing. Healthcare should be just a basic right.
This, of course, wasn't the only coalition at the Capitol today. A number of citizens came here wanting to keep Arizona elections fair.
Arizonans for Fair Elections turned over 500 boxes of signatures for the Arizona Fair Elections Act, which hopes to make permanent election-related changes, including barring legislators from overriding election results and restoring the permanent vote by mail list.
Democracy belongs to the people, and when you're in community, you should have a say in what happens in community. That's right. And so we're wanting to restore our community's ability and fundamental right, to say where power should live, and it lives with us.
Both measures face opposition before Election Day, but first they need to get through the Secretary of State's office to be certified for the ballot. In Phoenix, Julio Mora Rodriguez, Cronkite News.
Other initiatives hoping to make the ballot include one that ensures abortion rights in the state and a number involving elections, including eliminating dark money and making Election Day a state holiday.
In national news, we're taking a look at how the FDA is working on the formula shortage. Daisy Gonzalez-Perez in our Washington, D.C. bureau has more.
The FDA is currently at work to strengthen the supply of baby formula more permanently. To help offset the shortage of U.S.-made formula, the agency has been allowing manufacturers in other countries to make up the difference. But that was supposed to be temporary and ends mid-November. To meet the goal of diversifying the formula supply, the FDA is at work to allow the manufacturers to sell in the U.S. past the end date. President Joe Biden awarded the Medal of Freedom to his first round of recipients today. The Medal of Freedom is awarded to those who have made significant contributions to prosperity, values, or the security of the U.S. world peace or other significant endeavors. Some notable Arizona politicians have met the criteria. Former Congresswoman Gabby Giffords, who survived an assassination attempt and went on to found a nonprofit to prevent gun violence, was honored along with the late Senator John McCain, who was a prisoner of war and served in Congress representing Arizona. Other honorees include Denzel Washington, Simone Biles, and Steve Jobs. After the Supreme Court's decision to reverse the right to an abortion, some pharmacies feared a run on Plan B and other so-called morning after pills, so they temporarily limited sales. Those restrictions have started to ease, but that's not the end of concerns about access, as Elsa Horteris reports from our Washington bureau.
There's plenty of Plan B and other emergency contraceptives available today, but that was not the case last week when pharmacies across the country briefly limited purchases to head off possible panic buying. Panic, the advocates call, is completely justified.
I think that people are very understandably upset and they're anxious.
Anxious enough to cause a sharp increase in sales of the morning after pill immediately after the Supreme Court ruled on June 24th that there is no longer a right to an abortion in the United States.
It seems that there is a fact that, especially in some areas, that women are getting panicky and are trying to buy emergency contraception.
The purchase limits only lasted a few days, and no experts were ready to fault the pharmacies for their swift response.
I think they rightly were concerned about being able to keep product on the shelf.
Gandil Powers said that the need for emergency contraception could come at any time, even for women who are otherwise careful.
Most people don't think their birth control is going to fail. Most people don't think they're going to be the victim of sexual assault, but it does happen, and having emergency contraception around is really, really helpful.
But Fonteno and others say that just because it's still on store shelves, it doesn't mean everyone who needs Plan B can get it.
For people who live in rural communities, for people who have lower incomes, they may not be able to access emergency contraception and other birth control methods because of these barriers like transportation and cost.
And they worry there may soon be larger challenges.
Politicians and advocates have made it very clear that the next thing they're coming for is birth control.
In the meantime, all major pharmacy chains said they have lifted their limits on emergency contraceptives. In Washington, Elsa Horteris, Cronkite News.
Advocates worried about contraceptive rights point to Justice Clarence Thomas's writings, echoed by politicians like Arizona GOP Senate candidate Blake Masters, calling for a review of Griswold versus Connecticut, the case that gave married couples the right to contraception. In Washington, D.C., Daisy Gonzalez-Perez, Cronkite News.
Coming up after the break, an airport update. We'll tell how Mesa is going to create a more permanent space.
Also, we know it's getting warmer here in Arizona, but across the country, people are feeling the heat.
School of Journalism with the opportunity to gain real-world experience in the newsroom. At Cronkite News, our students produce professional content for audiences by taking on all roles, whether they be reporting, anchoring, producing, or studio production. Each department gives students first-hand professional newsroom experience. For more information, visit cronkitenews.azpbs.org.
Welcome. How utterly charming. Are you ready to get it going? How does an English fan come to be Italian Riviera?
A fresh start.
Can I trust you? Are you ready for the show? You can't be afraid to show them what you've got, what you want.
Are we having a party?
Of course, the more the merrier.
I love this place. It's my home now. Trouble in paradise. I can't do it on my own.
This is revenge.
There are consequences.
Be careful. Nothing like this. Nothing like this. Oh. You look like you need rescuing.
Tell me all.
What is it that you want? I just want to let go. I choose how I live.
There is the passion that I've been looking for.
Okay, let's go right up in here and start having some fun.
Such a thrill to be able to do this.
Recreation is the gateway drug to conservation.
How do you create that perfect straight edge?
You can do anything. History is today.
Chasing the American dream.
Experience something personal.
A place of imagination.
I can go anywhere I want to go.
You guys are just gonna love it.
An entertainment experience unlike anything.
There's something for everyone with Passport on the PBS Video app.
Some changes will soon be coming to the Phoenix Mesa Gateway Airport. Bipartisan efforts have made $14 million available for renovations. Congressman Greg Stanton announced today that the airport will be receiving millions towards their terminal modernization project. These funds will be used to construct a new permanent terminal to replace their current temporary one. This is the airport's #1 priority as they expect passenger traffic to grow by 50% over the next 10 years. These new funds are thanks to the bipartisan infrastructure law.
Not only is it hot here in Arizona, but 16 other states are also facing a major heat wave. More than 65 million people in the center and southwest of the nation are facing triple digits. Some cities that will be seeing these high temperatures include Atlanta, Dallas, and Memphis. Authorities are reminding everyone to check in on friends and relatives, especially elderly people, during this heat wave. Authorities are also encouraging everyone to stay hydrated and use plenty of sunscreen. Speaking of high temps and staying hydrated, let's check in with Jessica Herrera in the Cronkite Weather Center to see how the heat wave is hitting Arizonans. Jessica?
Kita, hopefully everyone is having a great Thursday so far. Let's take a look at our futurecast. As you can see, some light clouds passing on through the state, bringing on some high heat temperatures, especially for southwestern Arizona. Phoenix, 112 degrees, Gila Bend, 111, and our friends in Yuma, 110 degrees. But take a look at that, folks. Up in the high country, Flagstaff with 86 degrees. So if you're looking to escape that heat wave, well, that might be a good option for you. If you will be splashing in the pool, keep in mind the UV index is about 10, which is very high, from 11 to 2 p.m. And that sunburn time, it's going to be 15 minutes. So make sure that you're applying on that sunscreen before you are heading outdoors. Taking a look at this evening from 6 to 7, we'll see clear and sunny skies with 105 and 104 degrees. And towards bedtime, a slight decline in temperature with 98 degrees at 10 p.m. And taking a look at this weekend, weekend, Friday and Saturday, sunny skies. Sunday, some very light clouds. That's going to be the same deal for Monday and Tuesday with 111 degrees, and Wednesday and Thursday with a 20% chance of rain. And look at that. With Friday, 10% chance of rain as well with some light clouds and 109-degree temperatures. Make sure you are staying hydrated during this heat wave and that you are safe. From the Cronkite News Weather Center, I'm Jessica Herrera.
I'm Ethan Ryder. Coming up after the break, I'll have your Cronkite Sports Report. We'll take you out to Casa Grande, where one European soccer club is tapping into U.S. talent.
Yeah, let's go right up in here and start having some fun.
Such a thrill to be able to do this.
Recreation is the gateway drug to conservation.
How do you create that perfect straight edge? You can do anything. History is today. Chasing the American dream.
Experience something personal.
A place of imagination.
I can go anywhere I want to go.
You guys are just going to love it.
An entertainment experience unlike anything.
There's something for everyone with Passport on the PBS Video app.
On Masterpiece Mystery.
Evil can find its roots so easily in an English village.
The landscape of criminal investigation.
Murder, almost certainly.
Modern policing methods.
We endeavour to do our best.
We're working hard to solve this case.
And to make sure justice gets done.
It's a new adventure.
And the rest, as they say, is mystery.
I can hardly wait.
We tell ourselves stories as a nation.
These stories need to be highlighted, they need to be explored.
We're the dreamers.
How serious is America's commitment to looking at its history? How can we learn from the past?
Douglas said, "You're going to look me in the eye and see my humanity."
It's illuminating. I'm seeing the expansiveness of my history.
It's pretty great.
There's so much richness to Black life and Black culture.
I think the story of Muslims in America is the story of America.
Tonight, they are free.
I cannot imagine how excited he must have been.
It's a wonderful feeling. This is why we do this.
It makes me even more committed to struggling for a better world.
Welcome back to the Cronkite Sports Report. I'm Ethan Ryder. A casual sports fan knows Football Club Barcelona is one of Europe's premier soccer teams. What they might not know is that club has a residency academy here in Arizona. And as Kyle Betts tells us, it produces some of the best young talent in the country.
Luka Sawinski is an 18-year-old California native committed to the University of Denver to play soccer this fall. Despite being a high school senior, he already lives hundreds of miles away from home. He ended up at Grand Sports World, more specifically, the FC Barcelona Residency Academy. The academy, which is originally known as La Masia in Barcelona, Spain, has a second location here, where players like Sawinski can receive a high school education at the ASU Prep Academy before lacing their boots.
The professional facilities, everything. I knew I wanted to be here. It was really something special. It's a dream for a youth soccer player, really.
Youth players come to Casa Grande knowing the program, which was founded in 2017, will prepare them for the next level. For players like Luka Sawinski, their days are filled with practices, but they need all the pitch time they can get, as all Barca Residency Academy graduates either go on to play collegiately or professionally. Sawinski is treating this opportunity as a sort of mini college experience before he goes on to play in the NCAA.
It's certainly a challenge, but, all of us, it takes someone, pretty special to want to come out here, kind of an isolated area in Arizona. And, I think that's what makes this place so great, because everyone here, has the same goal.
Jed Quinn, who is one of 135 staff members on the property, has been a part of the program for 5 years. He's been able to see player development firsthand, as some join the residency in their early teens to learn Barcelona methodology and style of play.
If we can have those guys progress through together, what we've seen in the last few years is that by the time they get to U19, it's clicking, and we really then start to see the style come through.
Living in a rural area away from friends and family might be difficult, especially for a youth soccer player. But the Barca Residency Academy has created new opportunities and relationships.
There's kids from everywhere in the country, even outside the country. I think my favorite part has just been meeting them, getting to know them, learning everything about them, and, I've been able to make friends, and, I'll be friends with them for the rest of my life, hopefully.
In Casa Grande, Kyle Betts, Cronkite News.
Julian Araujo, Matthew Hoppe, and Caden Clark are just a few of many current professionals that have graduated from the academy. In their 17 league games this season, the Phoenix Rising have been in a lot of close ones. 10 of their 17 games have been decided by 1 goal or less. In those games, they've lost 6, drawn 1, and won 3. According to head coach Rick Schantz, the ability to grind out results in tight games is more about luck than anything else.
Sometimes it's, fortune doesn't fall on you, but I've told them all that shooters have to keep shooting, and you have to keep staying aggressive. You have to stay confident. You have to keep doing what we're doing, and the tides will turn.
The Rising will fly out tonight to begin a 2-game road trip as they face off against second-place Memphis 901 on Saturday. The XFL is hoping third time's a charm as they prepare to take the field once again in 2023. The XFL, which is purchased by Dwayne Johnson and Redbird Capital in August of 2020, is holding a showcase at Sun Devil Stadium on July 22nd. Tempe is one of 6 cities that the XFL is holding showcases in. They provide an opportunity for players to work out in front of coaches in hopes of being invited to the XFL draft. The XFL is banking on the popularity of football and their success in 2020 before shutting down due to COVID.
It's really all about the quality of the game. And do you have, the type of players that play exciting football, because that's what fans like. And it's also because I think people just love watching football. It's really become our national pastime.
ASU is inducting its first Hall of Fame class in 3 years. ASU will induct 9 members into its Hall of Fame this year. The list includes recently retired women's basketball coach Charlie Turner-Thorne and Valley natives Terrell Suggs and Anthony Robles. Turner-Thorne was the women's basketball coach from 1996 to 2022, making the NCAA tournament 15 times and getting to the Elite 8 twice. Suggs set an NCAA record with 24 sacks in 2002, and Robles was a 3-time Pac-10 champion and a national champion. The inductees will be honored on October 8th when Sun Devil football takes on the University of Washington. Devin Booker officially signed a Supermax deal with the Suns yesterday. Booker's new deal extends his contract with the Suns for 4 more years and is worth $224 million. It's the new richest contract in Suns franchise history, breaking the record set by Booker's previous extension. This deal kicks in after the 2024 season, meaning Booker is now under contract until 2028. Booker said, quote, "The love from this city has been there from the beginning. I'm honored and humbled to call this place home." That's it for the Cronkite Sports Report. Back to you, Lauren.
Coming up, we'll tell you how Maricopa County is helping the unhoused population and just how big of a long-term investment the county is making.
Okay, let's go right up in here and start having some fun. Such a thrill to be able to do this.
Recreation is the gateway drug to conservation.
How do you create that perfect straight edge? You can do anything.
History is today. Chasing the American dream.
Experience something personal.
A place of imagination.
I can go anywhere I want to go.
You guys are just gonna love it.
An entertainment experience unlike anything.
There's something for everyone with Passport on the PBS Video app.
On Masterpiece Mystery.
Evil can find its roots so easily in an English village.
The landscape of criminal investigation.
Murder, almost certainly.
Modern policing methods.
We endeavor to do our best.
We're working hard to solve this case.
And to make sure justice gets done.
It's a new adventure.
And the rest, as they say, is mystery.
I can hardly wait.
We tell ourselves stories as a nation.
These stories need to be highlighted. They need to be explored.
We're the dreamers.
How serious is America's commitment to looking at its history? How can we learn from the past?
Doug Douglas said, you're going to look me in the eye and see my humanity.
It's illuminating. I'm seeing the expansiveness of my history.
It's pretty great.
There's so much richness to Black life and Black culture.
I think the story of Muslims in America is the story of America.
Tonight, they are free.
I cannot imagine how excited he must have been.
It's a wonderful feeling. This is why we do this.
It makes me even more committed to struggling for a better world.
Maricopa County is continuing to invest in helping people transition out of homelessness. The Maricopa County Board of Supervisors has pledged $23 million to extend the Bridge Housing Program over the next 2 years. The program converts hotels into housing where people experiencing homelessness have access to shelter, food, and counseling services. It has helped about 700 people find permanent housing since the beginning of the pandemic. With these new funds, 250 new converted hotel rooms will be used across the country to help even more people find a permanent home.
That's it for Cronkite News tonight. Thanks for joining us. For top Arizona stories anytime, go to cronkitenews.azpbs.org.